Tonight, if you looked up and saw a strange light moving across the sky, you would probably reach for your phone. You would film it. You would post it. Within minutes, someone online would call it a UFO. But this isn't a new impulse. Your ancestors did the exact same thing. They just didn't have phones. They had cave walls, clay tablets, and the sky itself as their only witness. For centuries, people have pointed to ancient texts and ancient art and asked the same question you're asking right now. Did they really see something up there? Something we can't explain? The real answer is far stranger than yes or no. It isn't really about the sky at all. It's about your brain and how badly it wants the unknown to make sense. Start with the evidence people love to cite. In Rome, in the year 218 BC, the historian Livy recorded strange lights and phantom ships appearing in the sky, terrifying the population before a war. In ancient Egypt, the so-called Tulli Papyrus supposedly describes fiery discs raining down from the heavens. Medieval European chronicles describe crosses and burning wheels hanging above cities. Every single one of these has been used at some point as proof that ancient people were visited by something otherworldly. Here's what actually happened. Your ancestors were extraordinary observers of the sky. They had to be. Long before streetlights and pollution, the night was darker and richer than almost anyone alive today has ever seen. Comets, meteor showers, ball lightning, sundogs, lenticular clouds, and rare atmospheric refractions weren't just visible, they were unavoidable. The Roman writer Pliny the Elder spent his life cataloging natural phenomena precisely because the sky kept doing things people couldn't explain. He wrote about strange lights, unusual comets, and burning objects crossing the heavens. He wasn't describing aliens. He was describing nature, filtered through the only vocabulary his culture had. That's the key detail almost every viral article leaves out. Ancient people didn't lack imagination. They lacked our specific explanations. A meteor wasn't a rock burning up in the atmosphere to someone in 200 BC. It was a fire falling from the gods. A comet wasn't a chunk of ice and dust. It was an omen. A sundog, that eerie double image of the sun caused by ice crystals in the atmosphere, could easily become three suns fighting in the sky. A real phenomenon recorded in multiple cultures and later reinterpreted as a divine sign. So were they lying? No. They were doing exactly what your brain still does today. Astronomer and science communicator Carl Sagan spent years pushing back against the idea that ancient monuments and ancient art were proof of extraterrestrial visitors. He argued something simple but easy to forget. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and mysterious doesn't mean impossible to explain. It usually means not yet explained. Archaeoastronomer Anthony Aveni, who spent decades studying how ancient cultures across the world tracked the sky, found something remarkable. Nearly every major civilization built structures and stories around real celestial events. Solstices, eclipses, planetary alignments, comets. Stonehenge, the pyramids at Giza, the Mayan temples at Chichen Itza. These weren't landing pads. They were incredibly precise calendars, built by people paying close attention to a sky most modern humans never even look at. Here's where it gets personal. Your brain is a pattern-detecting machine. It evolved that way for a good reason. Recognizing a shape in the grass could mean the difference between spotting a predator and becoming its dinner. Psychologist Michael Shermer coined a term for this tendency: patternicity. The inclination to find meaningful patterns in both meaningful and meaningless noise. That instinct didn't disappear when your ancestors built cities. It just found new material. A strange light in the sky isn't just an image. It's a puzzle your brain refuses to leave unsolved. And when the puzzle has no obvious answer, your brain doesn't shrug and move on. It fills in the blank with whatever story your culture has ready. For a Roman farmer, that story was gods and omens. For a medieval monk, it was angels and portents. For you, scrolling at 1 a.m., it's spacecraft. Same brain, same sky, different vocabulary. There's something else people rarely mention: Ancient societies didn't have a shared, unified idea of aliens the way modern culture does. That concept is remarkably recent. It really took shape in the 20th century, shaped by science fiction, the Cold War, and a handful of highly publicized sightings starting in 1947. Before that era, a strange light in the sky wasn't slotted into a category called extraterrestrial visitor. It was slotted into whatever supernatural framework already existed. Dragons, chariots of fire, divine messengers. That's a crucial detail because it means the ancient astronaut interpretation isn't something ancient people believed. It's something modern people projected backward onto them. Psychologist Susan Clancy, who studied people who report memories of alien encounters, found that these experiences often follow a familiar psychological pattern. An unexplained physical sensation combined with a culturally available narrative, combined with the mind's tendency to weave the two into a vivid, convincing memory. Swap alien encounter for divine visitation, and you get almost the exact same mechanism your ancestors used 3,000 years ago. So, did ancient people see something strange in the sky? Almost certainly, yes. Meteors, comets, auroras. Rare atmospheric optics most people today will never witness because of light pollution and disrupted skies. What they didn't see was proof of alien visitation. What they did see was proof of something arguably more interesting. A species, yours, that has never once been comfortable saying, "I don't know," and leaving it at that. Think about what that means for you right now. Every time you see something you can't explain, whether it's a strange light, a coincidence, or an unsettling feeling, your brain reaches for a story. It always has. It's not a flaw. It's the same instinct that let your ancestors track the seasons, predict eclipses, and build monuments that still stand thousands of years later. The mystery was never really about what was in the sky. It was about what was looking up at it. And tonight, if you see a strange light moving above you, you'll probably reach for your phone. You'll film it. You'll post it. Just like your ancestors once looked up, pointed, and told a story about gods.